I'd like to thank Zoe Wang with Osee Technology for the opportunity to put this video together for you to view. Hello, I'm John Edwards of EF Productions and Edwards Electronics. And in this video, I'm going to show you the disassembly and reassembly of the Osee GoStream Deck Kit. Before we get into that, I'd like to show you the construction of this kit. The first feature on the list is this bottom mounting plate right here. This cheese plate features both 1/4-20 and 3/8-16 mounting capability. The case also has two side mount plates with 1/4-20 and 3/8-16 thread. I'm sure they'll come in handy for mounting other accessories or displays to the side of your case. Last but not least, the back side of the case, I like to call it port side, has the IEC connection for the power, mic 2 input, HDMI 1 through HDMI 4 in, and HDMI out 1, along with both USB 1 and 2 in the USB-C connection, the Ethernet port for your internet connection, a 5-volt power port which could be used for charging or for powering an external display, and a DC input jack. In this case, we have the GoStream Deck pre-installed. This is how it was sent to me from Osee. The kit comes with a 14-inch display that is mounted in the lid, and it has a kickstand or prop rod that will allow for you to play it safe so that the lid does not accidentally shut. Especially if you have a large battery sitting here in the tray powering this unit, you wouldn't want the lid to shut and the screen to get broke. That would be disastrous. We have our power switch, our fan switch, the USB-C style power connection for portable battery, mic 1, headphone jack, a nice little quiet cooling fan that it won't interfere with production. The Osee GoStream Deck is held in place with these two tabs, which is held by two T8 screws. 8 T8 screws hold the deck down inside the case, and will have to be removed to be able to gain access underneath. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the 8 screws. I will mark them on the screen so that you can see their locations. Okay, I spared showing you the removal of all the screws. I didn't think that was necessary. Here's our two tabs, and we should have a total number of 10 screws. Let's go ahead and try to get into this thing, open it up and see what we have. I grabbed a padded envelope just in case that I could set over the display. I see on this one, because the GoStream Deck is already installed, I have a card extension, a ribbon cable. I'm going to remove it. What I had to do on this is I went ahead and lifted it up and kind of pulled it back into that little recess area to give me a little bit more room. It's pretty tight. So I imagine going back together it's going to be a little bit tight. Alright, let's see what else we have. Oh, let's not lose that. Alright, here's our cables. We have a circuit board in the back that everything terminates to. Alright, let's get to disconnecting this thing. Well, my padded envelope is coming in handy after all. I'm going to lay this down right on top of that display and start disconnecting cables, starting from the power connection on over. Let's see, boy, that thing is tight. Okay, I'm going to grab just a pair of needle nose, break that loose. Maybe that'll help. A little bit tight, but I'm sure putting it together it's going to be easier than taking it apart. Okay, next is the Ethernet connection, the USB-C ports. And now our HDMIs. This connector feels solid. I don't think it's going to be any problem. It's easy to get a hold of, so I wouldn't worry too much about damaging anything with this, as long as you don't overstress the cables when you're doing your assembly. And alright, let's make our way through here. I'm really not worried about the fact that these are not labeled. Everything is in order here, and it is labeled on the circuit board. So now we have mic 2 and mic 1 and our headphone connection. That is it. We should be able to, yep, remove the GoStream Deck without any further challenge. I straightened the cables out, made them a little bit neater and a little bit more organized. We're going to go ahead and reinstall the GoStream Deck back into place. And for this, I'm just going to lay it up in here. Lay this back down on my padded envelope. Everything went slip sliding away, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and just start reconnecting my HDMI cables in order first. Oh, I already got them out of order. Look at that. Be careful. Here we go. Make sure you have them in the proper order. This part's fairly easy because with the design, everything is in line. Just how it would connect up to the Stream Deck. One thing I noticed, the HDMI connections, they fit fairly tight. I don't think it's going to be any problem with putting this thing all together and not having to worry about these connections slipping. Just like with your Ethernet connection, the Ethernet connection has a locking mechanism. And so does the power, of course. One thing I am concerned about is the USB-C. There is no locking mechanism in place, and it looks like it could be pulled loose fairly easy. So that's something we're going to have to pay attention to when putting it back together. Another thing I noticed is the cabling in here, especially the fan wires. Be careful not to allow any wiring to get pinched between the deck surface and the mounting assemblies in here. Next is our headphone and microphone 1. So we'll plug in the headphone since that's right, you know, what is now the bottom but the top. And then microphone 1, and let's find microphone 2. Microphone 2 right there. It's on the back plane, so it's in a different location. And then all we have left is power. And after we get the power connected, we have that SD card ribbon connection. That's my least favorite connection. And I can see right now this is already, well, it was just a little bit at an angle, but I'm still concerned about that connection. I don't want it to become a problem. All right, I'm holding with my hand both the GoStream Deck and the metal deck for the kit. I'm going to make sure one more time that everything is connected. And I'm going to lay this back into place. Move my protection envelope out. Try to get a hold of this ribbon cable in here. Again, I'm going to, let me make sure this is in focus. And I'm going to lay this back in place. And let's use the lid area. Give me enough room to put this in. All right, let's see. All right, I hear it click, but I noticed something about this. Even though it clicks in place, it does not lock. So extra care needs to be exercised with this connection. It goes in place and connects easily, but it also pulls out easily. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and start pulling the deck back into place and laying it down. Okay, with the GoStream deck in place, I'm going to go ahead and start reassembling, installing my tabs first. And then next I'm going to start my parameter screws. Now, one thing I'm going to do that I would recommend is that I'm going to put the screws in loose until I get them all started, and then I'll tighten them down. Okay, I'm going to start with my parameter screws. Again, as I mentioned before, I'm not going to tighten them down. I'm just going to get them started. One thing I noticed is I had to pull down on this just a little bit to get this screw up here in the corner started. And that's a good reason to leave the screws loose until you get all of the screws started. Okay, that is all 8 screws. Now I'm going to go ahead and start tightening the screws down. My overall take on the Osee GoStream Deck Kit is that it's mildly challenging, but most of the folks that are in our field have more than enough technical and mechanical capabilities. They should have no challenge at all putting their own GoStream deck into this kit.